Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I know some people jumped off in season 2 of Stranger Things because it was not as strong. There are things I really liked about season 2, but the 11 story kind of goes off the rails. Everything
I
that
mean,
happens, like the
whatever
long-winged
else
monsters
you
and
can
such,
say
that's
about
good stuff.
Stranger Things, it did give us David Harbour, so net positive for humanity.
There you go. Yeah, so I did watch the first episode of Stranger Things season 5 and the opening of the second episode. In all honesty, I was so into it. I was almost about. I don't know if I want to do a live stream. I want to finish the series and go from there. But last night, like I said, we were talking about doing cover rankings. Eric said, "Hey, we should talk movies," and hey, Jeff Mack. Oh, hey, I've got some the book. Your books are on the way, Jeff. I sent them a few days ago. Just to give you a heads up. Stranger Things, I didn't watch it, but my wife did. Says Summoner. This happens to me and Gail a lot, where we'll start watching something together, and then she'll start falling asleep. Like she gets up 4:30 in the morning to go to work. Okay, so it's nothing. I'm not like,
Yeah,
oh, why are you
she
listening?
has an excuse
When I get
for,
home after dropping
this.
her off at work. Yeah, because you could guarantee when I get home dropping her off at work, I'm taking a nap. But she has slept through so many TV shows. She doesn't care. Do you know what she cares about? Dancing with the Stars. We saw the ending tonight, and like I put on Stranger Things, and she's just that. But that's most of the stuff. It's
I haven't seen an episode. I haven't seen an episode of Dancing with the Stars since Alfonso Cuarón was on and did the Carlton dance for old time's sake. I think that was like the year before we decided to switch entirely to streaming, and so I don't really watch a lot of reality TV anymore, just on the basis that it's not something that comes up on streaming very often.
They made him host, and it's a better show for it, by the way. Hello,
yeah, Alfonso Cuarón has a lot of charisma. Of course, no one who watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the day needed anyone to tell them that, but it is the case.
Well, I'm old enough to remember Silver Spoons. Jeff Max saying, received my comic books a few days ago. Thanks for shipping them. Really love the Johnny Quest wrapper. That's some great stuff. Anytime I could find, there's two things from the 80s comics that I will always get. One is, of course, Johnny Quest. And the other one, surprisingly, with this crowd, and if you haven't read it, give it a try, is Airboy. Airboy seems to go. I bought KO #2 variant cover with Plastic Man and Lobo today. KO. Oh, yeah, I read the first issue of KO. I'll read the second, see how it goes. Maybe actually, hey, why not do a review? That might be fun. So, yeah, I watched the second episode, the first episode of Stranger Things season 5 today. And it was, it was good. I mean, it started off a little bit slow because it was kind of getting everybody caught up to, what happened, because it's been 5 years. I hate this new thing where they're making TV shows 3-5 years after. I mean, weren't we watching?
Especially with like a third of the episodes you would have gotten back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, Kiefer Sutherland kicked terrorist ass 24 weeks a year, and it was like a movie. What were you saying, Eric Breen?
Well, I'm going to say one thing, and then because I see you are not alone, so I'm going to disappear as quickly as I came in. After I say, I'm not saying that Stranger Things has taken a long time, but my dear old mom passed in 2016. We watched the first 2 episodes together.
Wow, that is something. Are you coming back after dinner?
No, probably not, because I can't. I have nothing to add to what you guys are going to be talking about. So I'll keep an eye on.
Oh, I was gonna. Okay, yeah. Later, if it goes well, later I was going to shift this over to Christmas movies, upcoming things that we want to watch.
I may pop back in then.
Alrighty.
I'll tune it in or at least with the sound down while I'm watching basketball. So have a good one, fellas.
All righty.
We'll be seeing you, Breen. We'll be seeing you.
I hope the views actually pick up, because I see it going 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and then it's back to 1 and everything. Really? Wow. So yeah, I'm not so okay. So apparently right now, where it is, first episode, the military has come in and kind of taken over whatever it is, Haddonville or whatever, I know I forgot the name of the city. I'm not gonna pretend like I've remembered everything I saw from season 4, 5 years ago.
And only like 8 episodes.
Yeah, right.
The episode number of modern day shows really gets my goat, because I remember the days when it was normal to have like a 24 episode season, and I want those days back. Yes, that meant occasionally having a filler episode, but you know what filler episodes were good for? Because they weren't so focused on the plot. They were good at showing what the characters are like when there isn't a shot clock ticking in the background. And we don't get that anymore, and so it always ends up nerfing the characters.
Like I said, Kiefer Sutherland made a 24-hour movie every season, and it was awesome. I love the show 24, by the way. But yeah, so far so good. Obviously, I can't say, oh, I would recommend season 5 or whatever. But I mean, come on, if you watch the first 4 seasons, you're gonna watch season 5. It's almost. Is there a part of me that you will not poop on, Gail? I'm just kidding. The bird just. Okay, so anyway, yeah, but it's I get it. If you watch the last 4, you're probably gonna watch this one. And if you were like, "Oh, this is the worst show ever," yes. But yesterday, when it was said, "Hey, we should skip the cover rankings," movies were brought up. So here we are, and hello to One Slick Dude, and we also have Summoner and Jeff Mack in the house. If you guys want to talk about things that you've seen this month, I'm just going to go over some of the things that I saw in November. One of the things, did you see Wicked?
I did.
The Wicked for Good? Okay.
Yes, I have now seen both installments of the Wicked franchise. Honestly, I know this would require oodles of work, because obviously the Broadway musical already existed. But while we're on the Wicked kick, can we get adaptations of Son of a Witch and what the frick is the Lion book called? But there are two other books in the Gregory Maguire Oz book series, and I want some kind of adaptation of either of them. God damn it.
Okay. Well, I have no relationship with Wicked other than the movies. And by the way, I'm starting this way, hoping more people go in, because the movie that was specifically requested I talk about are Running Man and Predator Badlands, and I'm going to get to those. I wanted to talk about this because, to me, Wicked, one, it was my 3rd most anticipated film of the year, past Superman and Fantastic Four. I loved the first half of the musical. I have no relationship with the source material. I've never seen the play, never read the book. I don't have a desire to read the book. If the play comes to town, okay, yeah, you know what, I might buy tickets. But so I have no relationship whatsoever with this movie. And the first one comes out. I think the songs are excellent. The movie's beautiful. And by the way, that carries over. They filmed at the same time. Obviously, they used a lot of the same sets and so forth. So on.
Production design is still on point. Yes, fair enough.
Amazing. Freaking amazing. And no matter how much of they're freaking out of their gourd. These 2 actresses are out of their freaking minds in interviews and all that kind of stuff, trying to promote the movie. They are. But
they have the receipts, so who cares?
Oh my gosh, they are freaking talented as hell. This time around, it's not Cynthia Erivo's movie. It's not The Wicked Witches. It's all about Glinda, which leads me to one thing I hate about the Wicked movies. Glinda should have magic powers. They nerf her completely, and that's ridiculous, especially now that a lot of people are seeing Wicked as a prelude to Wizard of Oz. It's not. It's fan fiction. You know, no matter how good it might be or how bad it might be, it's fan fiction. But a lot of people are seeing it as a prequel to the Wizard of Oz. And if you're going to do that, then Glinda has to have magic powers. She literally teleports shoes from a dead woman's feet onto the feet of a live woman. From about
it's funny
25 feet away. That's not sleight of hand, ladies and gentlemen. So and she does many other things.
It's funny that you bring this up, because that was something that was created specifically for the musical. It's not like that in the book. Elphaba does have stronger magic than Glinda in the book, because she is conceived of... She's actually the child of the wizard in the book, and he uses an elixir when he's, for lack of a better word, drugging Elphaba's mother, to give her more potent magic. But funnily enough, Elphaba doesn't have much of a background for sorcery in the book. She actually only has as powerful magic as she does have because she has access to the Grimoire in the book, and only a person whose magic is tied to the power of the earth itself can read the Grimoire in the book. The reason why the Grimoire was taken... The reason the Grimoire was taken to Oz in the book was because only people from Earth could read it, and so the person that took it there thought that if I stick it in Oz, no one in Oz is going to be able to misuse it. But yeah, in the book, Glinda has plenty of magic of her own, as does Nessa Rose, which is kind of hypocritical on her part, but that's not relevant.
In the movie, they completely nerf her.
That was something the musical came up with,
and it's dealing with basically her. She has decided to be on the side of the wizard and the bad guys. But I gotta tell you, as soon as Elphaba is attacking people because, oh my gosh, you're doing bad, let me hurt you. She is the Wicked Witch. I'm sorry. Maybe this is my conservatism popping through. But I see it as look, if you're gonna act like a terrorist, we're gonna brand you a terrorist. Okay, it's just the way it is. I loved it. But the thing is, this movie is so flawed. The second half, the Wicked for Good, is so freaking flawed. Mainly, it's weird because they expanded this story into 2 movies when the play is like 3 hours. So they could have made a 3-hour movie. It would have been
2.5 hours, more like, but yeah,
2.5 hours. Okay, yeah, they could have even expanded it 3 hours, and it would have been better. But they split it into 2 movies, which means they added in some things, but they didn't give in the second movie. They didn't give those things time to breathe. And when Dorothy comes into town, for a movie that is 2 hours, it seemed like that just okay. Let's get through it. They rushed it. They took their time, and then they rushed the middle part, and then they took their time with the end. And it felt like it needed another 30 minutes. If you're going to split it into 2 movies, make sure that all of the motivations, all of the actions and such like that is there. It's present. You understand what things are doing. I still enjoyed the movie, and I'm looking forward to attaching the 2 and watching it as an actual, the way I watch Lord of the Rings. Whoever goes, you know what, I'm going to watch the Lord of the Rings 2 Towers, and that's it. No, you watch it from beginning to end when you do that now.
I stop at Fellowship. I don't often revisit the other 2.
Really?
I realize that makes me a heretic.
You are a freaking weirdo, man. Yeah, it's like Star Wars. I never just watch Star Wars. I have to watch Star Wars, The Empire, and Return of the Jedi. You know, I'm not going to stop it in the at the beginning or in the middle. And by the way, it's freaking Star Wars. It's not what was A New Hope or anything. It's in Star Wars. It was that way for 20 goddamn years. That
was George's original title for it. He just added it back on afterwards.
It's Star Wars. Thank you, Bird. The bird's on the wire. Will you? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, anyway. Get off the goddamn camera wire. Let go. Oy vey, you are a pain in the butt sometimes. I'll swear. Thank goodness you're cute. Yeah, that's the way it is with kids too, by the way.
Back to Wicked for Good. One thing I will say for them, and I give them credit for this, is a lot of the extra material they added that wasn't in the musical, they got from the original book, or they adapted from stuff that was in the original book, which I did like. Like in the play, Elphaba's sympathies for the capital A animals are just kind of dropped in the second half, whereas here they bring it back in with Glinda and Fiero's wedding there. So I did like little nods to stuff like that, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they even throw in Elphaba's attempts to assassinate Madame Morrible, which was like the second third of the book was devoted to Elphaba using her status as the Wicked Witch to be a political activist, and one of the key events in that part of the story is when Elphaba is attempting to assassinate Madame Morrible. And they left that out of the musical, and I'm glad they added it back in here.
Yeah. What else would I have to say? But once again, oh, by the way, I think it's good enough where she creates the Scarecrow. That's my favorite musical number. But I got to tell you, the creation of the Tin Man was done just fantastic. I think that might be, actually, I might shift that. I think the best song is the one where they're in her castle and everything. But I think it's the which I think is called Good Enough or For Good. But the creation of the Tin Woodsman was awesome. That was the kind of thing, like the flying monkeys itself, when we were kids, would scare the shit out of us in Wizard of Oz. When I was 13, we had a movie called Something Wicked This Way Comes. In the past, it was trusted to scare the shit out of kids when you need to. And I think the creation of the Tin Woodsman is that scene for this movie. Yeah. Overall,
it was even more fucked up in the book.
It's good stuff. We're losing. Yeah, and I could tell we're losing or have lost the audience because there has not been a comment since Dalton made a sports rest. So he's giving a shit about Wicked as far as the audience is concerned. But if you are into this, I would recommend it. But when you think about it, I was wondering who is this? Hello, Jim. What's up? I was thinking, who is this movie for? Not in the black pill way, like who the is this movie for? I just realized, unless you watched it on Prime or Peacock when it was on there, why would you go see this movie? You know, this is almost a limited audience because, and I know it's done well so far. It really did. It is doing well, but it's got a limited audience to those who either discovered it on one of these and went, "Ooh, I want to see the ending," or people who are just already into it. You know, as I was thinking, this is a weird movie when you think about it.
The good news is that Wicked is one of the most successful Broadway musicals of all time. So the group of people under the category of already into it is quite large.
No, sir. It is not one of the greatest or most successful Broadway musical adaptations of all time. It is the most successful. It's topped it. It's already topped it.
But my point was that the original audience for the musical itself is large enough that even if you're just getting the people who were already invested in Wicked from the Broadway musical, that's still a pretty sizable chunk of people.
Yeah. All righty. I was yesterday when we were talking about this, and someone suggested we talk about movies. There were two of them that were brought up, and that is Predator: Badlands and The Running Man. Have you seen either of these? Or it's
I have in fact seen both of them. I was disappointed with both of them for various different reasons.
Okay. I'm so interested in hearing what you have to say about one of them. I'm going to start with Predator. Okay. I think this is the easiest to review because it's all right.
The insufferable bitch android is an issue here.
All right. Look, if you... it's all right. You know, look, there's action scenes. He predates. It's fine. It is absolutely what you need to get you through the day if you are looking for this particular thing.
You're being too nice to it.
Cheese and tomato soup. You're a peanut butter jelly sandwich into the night. You're Paula Abduling it. There is a movie. No, I am not. This is, if there is ever a movie that represents the middle, this is the movie. I cannot. Look. There are moving pictures. There are loud sounds. It's fine. It's entertaining for the length of the film, but it's not memorable enough to carry you past the ending.
Are you done trying to be nice to it?
Like you said, he lands on this. Okay. No, I'm not being nice. This is it. This. Well, you know what? Yeah, this is me being nice to it. I'm not going to look. It's not the worst film of all time or anything like that, but it is. If ChatGPT wrote a Predator script, this would be it. Just saying. Go on ahead and trash Predator for you.
Yeah. Okay. Here is the biggest and most frustrating problem with this movie. There are good ideas in it. Okay. It's just that no effort or attention was paid into actualizing them at all. And of course, and I'm sure I'm not the only person to bring this up, but the insufferable freaking HR bitch android just pulls you out of the movie every time she speaks. Because 90% of her dialogue is trying to be like ironically humorous and shit, and it just yanks everyone out of the movie. Because here's the thing. If this was either a lone predator hunting his prey and then bonding with the younger offspring of the prey that he's pursuing, that would have been a better movie. What would have also been a better movie is instead of having the insufferable HR bitch android be his traveling companion, why wasn't it his brother who tried to save him? They both could have gotten out, and then we could have focused on that as our gateway into Yautja culture. These two disgraced brothers on this hunt. That could have been interesting. So many of these ideas could have worked if they just
answer for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, the practical answer would be this. You really don't want a Predator sequel. Well, you probably do. But I know that the studio wouldn't want a Predator sequel where it's all subtitles. And it would sound ridiculous for English to be coming out of a Predator's mouth. So they need somebody to be the audience. They need somebody to have the dialogue, to ask the questions the audience is going to ask.
Yes, I know that's the focus group approved.
So, yeah.
I know that's the focus group.
That's the reason why we got this.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that that's the studio reason, but but it makes the movie infinitely worse. And it would have, and again, it wouldn't have even necessarily have had to have been the brother. You could have had another character in there being the buddy cop dynamic. But this particular character that added nothing but insufferable quote-unquote comic relief, again, just nerfs the entire context of the movie. And given that the supposed selling point of this movie is learning more about the Yautja culture, the fact that we spent sweet fuck and all time actually doing any of that is just infuriating.
Yeah, so absolutely agree with a lot of what you say, because even though we're at different periods or points, I guess not periods, but points of entertainment from it, there was a point that when I was watching the movie, there was a point where she is literally, oh, okay, we're going to talk like this, because isn't everything hunky dory? Even though I got cut in half by the biggest monster in the universe, and I was like, wow, they're kind of pushing it a little bit. I get it. I get what you're saying. It would have been better had they actually had a more serious android, maybe. Not necessarily David from Prometheus, because those movies sucked like a freaking whore under my bridge. But somewhere in between would have been better. But I get what you're saying. Hold on just a sec. Jim saying Dark Horse has tons of good Predator stuff that could easily be adapted. Excuse me just a second. I'm on a sneezing jag here. Okay, that was uncomfortable. Let's see. England team, did you notice both Predator and Alien did the same idea with the androids understanding and communicating with aliens and predators now? Yes, MK, I did. But I do actually... will you get off the camera, please? And don't turn around so your ass is on. And here you go. Okay. All right. I will say this. I like this movie infinitely more than I like the Prometheus movies. God, so boring. And stupid, but kind of fun will beat boring any day with me. I'm serious. Give me Biodome over the English Patient. The English Patient is worthy. An Oscar-winning movie with excellent acting, great writing, but god damn,
but no one with a pulse would ever actually want to watch the thing.
Honest, give me, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I had noticed that. Now, there were scenes I liked in this. There were things I liked about it. A lot of people didn't like the look of the Predator. Didn't bother me. I mean, it just didn't bother me. I think that comes from being a comic book collector. You've already seen all sorts of different versions of the Predator, so okay, yeah, I'm fine.
I will say it could have been. It could have been better.
This one.
I will say the design could have been better, but on the like laundry list of issues I had with the thing, that was fairly low down on the list. Like it's not the greatest design I've ever seen in the world, but it didn't break my immersion into the story like every time the HR android opened her fucking mouth. And speaking of derailing the story every time anything happened with them, the fact that they made this movie more about random HR android connecting with her sister more so than it was about the Predator redeeming himself or the Predator coming to terms with learning to like the offspring of this prey animal that he's hunting, or even him redeeming himself from the failure or avenging his brother or defeating his father or any of the things that, the main character actually is involved with or gave a shit about. The fact that like 30% of this movie was just shit related to the HR android and her sister is far further up on my list of things that annoy me about this than the rather lackluster Predator design.
Okay. Oh, just really quick, one thing we didn't do. Okay, so here it is. You have the Predator, the dude on the poster right here. he is a runt of the litter, and his father wants to kill him because he is the runt of the litter. His brother protects him but gets killed by their father. And in order to prove himself, he decides to go to this dangerous planet where everything wants to kill you. Yeah, that's damn near every freaking planet. Okay, hey, look, we live where we are protected. Let's drop ourselves into Serengeti and see how everything would want to kill us.
Or better yet, Australia. Anyone?
Right. But so he goes to prove himself, and he's going to kill this big monster and bring back the head and go, here, look, I'm an actual predator. I can beat anyone but this Indian chick back in the 1600s. He's just and so he goes to the planet, and yes, he meets the android and she basically talks about how big and badass this monster is, and the hunt ensues. At a certain point, they get involved with Weyland-Yutani, the company from Aliens, and now the android decides that she's going to. I'm not taking you out. Okay, I'm here. I'm doing a show. Okay, you want to go back in the cage? I'm not going out. We're not taking a walk. You're here. Okay. He's actually he's flying to the door and back. By the way, that's why he's landing on my head. He wants me to take him for a walk. No, no, I'm doing a show. No. Okay. No. But yeah, and at a certain point, the HR android is I was about to call you Dominic, as Dalton says, she goes, oh, I'm no longer part of the Weyland-Yutani. Okay, so there was one scene where I'm going to agree with you that it was a pile of suck. And this is, at one point in time, they're in the Weyland-Yutani camp, and she finds her legs, and she controls her legs remotely, and her legs kick the shit out of a bunch of other androids. Bigger than her, which you could presume they're stronger than her, but her legs destroy them. And I was like, wow, this is a bunch of bullshit. That's not the taking you.
Go ahead.
You talk about taking you out of the story and all that. At that point, I was done. I'm like, no, okay, let's just watch let's watch the explosions, because at this point the story is given up. Yeah, go on ahead.
And while we're here, the cherry on top of the bullshit sundae is so Deck, who is the main character, goes to this planet to hunt the predator of the predators, the predator of the Yautja, and bring back its head to lay at the feet of his father and regain his honor and yada yada yada. But what transpires instead, because stupid, is instead of doing the thing they sent him to this planet to do, bearing in mind that he was under a death sentence if he doesn't succeed in doing the thing they sent him to do, he ends up assuming that the sister of the HR android is a more impressive predator than this creature who is like an ancient primordial enemy of the Yautja, and that's killed thousands of Yautja. So instead of doing the thing they sent him to this planet to do under penalty of death if failure, he brings back the HR bitch's sister's head and lays that at the feet of his father in order to regain his honor. And the movie acts as though this is an equivalent exchange, or that this is in any way like a demonstration of him fulfilling his mission statement. And fuck you, no, that's not how that works. Given that he was that he was under penalty of a death sentence if he failed to do this, they should have immediately killed him.
The reason why is the real predator is man. Dun dun dun. I mean, that's what it is. The androids, they represented humans. They represented humans in this particular battle. And nature is good, And what is
but
man? Man is not nature in the eyes of a lot of people who are making movies, by the way.
But we as the audience might be able to give Dex some benefit of the doubt and say that yes, Tess, which is the sister's name, I think, was a rather dangerous foe. But how in all the fucks is the Council of Yautja, headed by his father, supposed to determine this, considering they're not privy to the other 15 minutes of the movie that we just sat through?
Yeah.
So,
right. Okay, you know what? We didn't do this, but I want to do this now. It looks like we're giving 2 thumbs up on Wicked, right?
yes, it's a good movie. I would give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10.
All righty. Since I'm the bald one, I'll be Gene Siskel on this one. You could be a Roger Ebert, but thumb up or thumb down on Badlands. C minus. C minus if we're going by our usual grade system. It is complete. It's not even bad enough to be interestingly bad. It's just kind of insufferably meh. And also bad at the same time. In our grading system, by the way, just to give you a little heads up what that means, in C minus in our usual grading system means it is utterly forgettable. It is, in my opinion, it's the worst grade you can give a movie, because if you give a movie an F minus, if you talk about this movie is the worst thing on that will get someone interested enough to
it's
see
the Room effect.
Why it's so bad. Yeah, a C minus is, to me, it's the death, because what you're saying is this honestly does not improve on looking at a blank screen for the exact runtime of the movie.
I regret the 2.5 hours I spent watching this fucking thing. Is the answer to that?
If you went to see Predator Badlands, which is probably what, $1.45 all told, and you just stared at the blank screen for an hour and 45 minutes, you would probably get the same entertainment value. And I mean, the only thing that you wouldn't get is the sound. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. So yeah, you could sit with your thoughts for an hour and 45 minutes and probably have a similar, better time with Badlands. This is, I guess another way to put it would be don't see it at all, stream it, or go to the theaters. I might be generous enough to say stream it, but it's a bare recommendation. If you haven't seen it yet, I believe it was Netflix that had an animated Predator movie earlier this year, which was
the anthology series they came out with.
Yeah.
Was a much better Predator
one, and it seems to be setting up more.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would recommend that over this. I don't see a reason to stick with this, in all honesty. They're at the end, they did have a ship coming towards, it's this guy's mom. Maybe at some point they're going to tie it into the animated movie. It does seem like they're planning something big with the Predator series, so maybe that's going to happen. If then, watch this just for context. But yeah, I can't recommend this one. Wicked, absolutely. Watch the first part, second part. I think that's a very.
If we're going by our like usual grading system, I would give Wicked for good like a B+, probably.
Oh, I'm about A- on that. I really got sucked into these movies. I don't usually see movies twice in the theater. I told Gail I want to go back and see it in the theater, 3D, the whole 9 yards, the way I saw it before. Okay, so I guess we've got one more. I've got 2 more movies to talk about here that I saw, and if we want to talk about any TV, if you guys in the chat want to bring up something as well, we could chat about that. I'm just keeping the conversation going because, well, this is what we saw. But next up, somebody asked me about The Running Man. So okay, let's talk about. You saw this, right?
I did. I somewhat regret having seen it, but I did in fact see it.
Wow. Okay, first of all, let me get through the thing that I hear so many people saying in their reviews, and they're mistaken. What's going on up there? This is not a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger film.
No, it's a new adaptation of the source material.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie wasn't an adaptation of the source material. They took the name and they left everything out. They took the name and the game, and everything else was made up for that movie. This is a more faithful adaptation. It's not a completely faithful adaptation, and we'll talk about the problem I have with it later. But it is a more faithful adaptation. The movie is this. He is a man desperate for money. He and his wife are poor. His child is sick and has been sick for a while, and they're really worried. And his wife is stripping, and the suggestion that she might actually start whoring comes up, and he's desperate. And so they've got all these game shows that people can go on to win money. So he says, you know what, I'm going to go to the network. I'm going to try out for one of these game shows. Maybe I can make some money. And so he goes, and she says, don't do the Running Man. But while he's there, he's an angry guy, by the way. I mean, and he's just, at some points in time, it's ridiculous. Like when he gets to the network, it's almost like he's angry to the point where you ask yourself, wait a second, why are you this fired up right now? I get you're angry at the system, but it's almost like someone pissed him off. To the point where he wanted to hit somebody.
It's such melodramatic horseshit in a lot of bits.
And so he's acting. Yeah. So he goes in like, and there's no reason for it because this is his decision to go on the network. But then somebody does something that would have triggered anger. That's the time to go. It's just that the whole beginning part, it didn't make sense to me when he was going up. But after a while, okay, he's aggressive. He fights back. And Killian sees him and says, okay, we need him on the Running Man. Okay, long story short, they put him on the Running Man. And the whole story on this one, instead of like, oh, we're in a controlled environment like Arnold Schwarzenegger was, go anywhere in the country. We're going to hunt you down. If you as a citizen see him, you could kill him and win money. Every day that he survives, his family gets money, so he continues to try to survive and so forth and so on. And also they do have hunters that send them out, but the hunters have costumes, but they're not the silly over-the-top Arnold Schwarzenegger costumes. Before I let Dalton go, I will say this. One thing I am impressed about is you can do a Running Man double feature, and you will get two different movies. And I kind of like that. Dalton, you're just before I fillet the movie, you go on ahead and trash the movie, and then I'll get back to it.
This is another one of those cases where being more faithful to a Stephen King book does not work, I think, in the movie's favor. I also think that this movie single-handedly convinced me something that I've been having in the back of my mind for a while now, which is we should put a moratorium on anyone other than Mike Flanagan adapting Stephen King until Mike Flanagan doesn't want to adapt Stephen King anymore. Because he seems to be the only person who is capable of making something that is more in line with what Stephen King's actual mythos is, and actually also have it be a good movie. This movie, it's basically a discount Squid Game, and take Squid Game, Americanize it, and then suck all of the good and intrigue and substance out of it. This movie.
That's what they did with Squid Game 2 and 3.
Yeah, this movie. Korea. Yeah, this movie is just and if it were just a high stakes survival type game, a little bit like Naked and Afraid or something along those lines, that would be fine. If it were actually kind of framed a little bit like the Hunger Games, that would be fine. But as the movie goes on, there is more and more and more layers of convoluted, I was puppet mastering everything from behind the scenes the whole time, even stuff I wasn't involved with or stuff I couldn't possibly have predicted you doing. And oh my god, this movie is like the Arnie movie was not great either. It was one of those fun, dumb sort of movies. But this movie is pretentious and dumb. And that's infinitely worse.
Yeah. Okay, so you brought up first of all, Frank Darabont can make Stephen King movies as well. Also,
yeah, but other than those two,
both movies suffer at the same point in time in the runtime towards the end. As soon as Arnold Schwarzenegger meets Mick Fleetwood and he gets off the game grid, I think Running Man just hits a wall. It becomes damn near unwatchable. With this one, as soon as he's on the airplane at the end, it does the same exact thing. It just hits a wall. It becomes unwatchable. My thinking, though, is this is a much more fun film getting to that ending than The Running Man was. The Running Man was silly. It's entertaining. I've watched it a gajillion times, so I'm not putting it down like that. But I know what I'm watching. I know I'm watching a stupid action film. When I watch this, I know I'm watching a stupid action film. This stupid action film just entertains me more. It's got its scenes. It's got the good stuff. It's got the bad stuff. I do wonder. Glenn Powell is in shape. And I wonder, did he bulk up so he would look a little bit more like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he did this one? The towel.
I think he's just trying to generally make his star turn, and he's bulking up for the sake of that, is what I'm guessing.
Maybe that's it. I actually liked Michael Cera in this movie. This movie made me like Michael Cera. So good for you. I have only ever seen him act like Scott Pilgrim. In whatever show he's done, he's been Scott Pilgrim in every.
He's perpetually 16, going on 13, kind of. Yeah.
And in this one, they gave him the conspiracy theorists and everything, but I love what he did with his house. I love I just thought it was done well. I enjoyed all of the action. I enjoyed what happens before they get onto the plane. I can't believe this one's going to be the shortest of our reviews because I feel like I'm wrapping this up, in all honesty. We haven't had comments or anything like that either. So we got to get on to stuff that people are talking about. But it is better. It is a more faithful adaptation to the source material, the book, than the Arnold Schwarzenegger film. But, and I'm going to spoil the out of the ending here. In the book, they kill his family. So he takes the plane. He kills everybody on the plane. He takes the plane and he actually does fly it into the network's building. This one, they give him this absurd Hollywood happy ending. It's like, wait a second, how did this work? It's like they show the plane crashing, and that was the scene that someone, and all of a sudden it cuts away from the plane crashing.
Yeah, they didn't have the balls to actually go through with it.
Right.
And
but it's not even that. They don't have a whole thing about how he escapes and all that kind of shit. And it's like, yeah, really, it's just it is such a cop-out.
It's just because the plot says so. We don't know how he managed to make it out, but he did because the plot says so.
Maybe I missed it. Maybe I forgot. Whatever.
Well, if you missed it, I missed it too because it came right the fuck out of nowhere for me too.
And it shows him getting in because he's like, Killian, I'll be back. He didn't actually say that, but his message was just like Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I'll be back. So he goes back to kill Killian, and he gets a happy ending with his wife and everything. And I thought, wow, that kind of takes the soul out of it. Overall, though, I would give this one a B minus, maybe a B even. Say I enjoyed it enough up until the ending that I will watch this movie again when it comes to streaming. I'll check it out again. I can actually recommend you check it out. You might actually enjoy the happy ending and the Hollywood ending and such like that. But
I will.
For me,
I will give it a C plus. It's not as bad as Predator Badlands, which again I maintain there are infinite better ways to spend that 45 minutes or whatever the fuck. But this movie, it's trying something. It's just I don't think a lot of its creative choices worked for me, and it solidified in my mind that the only people that should have right of first refusal for a Stephen King adaptation is Darabont, who gave us, of course, The Shawshank Redemption, and Mike Flanagan, who just gives great Stephen King adaptations every time he does one. And for the love of God, this is completely irrelevant, but for the love of God, please, while Mads Mikkelsen is still alive, Mike Flanagan, do a better adaptation of Needful Things, better and more in line with the book, starring Mads Mikkelsen as Mr. Gaunt, and I don't know, either Henry Cavill or Chris Evans as Alan Pangborn. Please, for the love of all the things, that would be amazing.
Alrighty, actually, that's pretty cool. I like that. Hello to everybody. If you're in the chat, I know we only have 5 people watching. Wow, this is something. I should have done a cover ranking. In all honesty, just should have done a cover ranking. Because I was like, oh, well, let's talk about movies. Nobody wants to fucking talk about movies. Nobody's talking anything. Alrighty. But there you go. Those were the 3 main movies. I was going to bring this up with Christmas films and everything else, but we only have 5 people in the audience. Nobody's chatting. Nobody's in the comment section talking or anything like that. So, I don't know. I also saw His Girl Friday, and I got to tell you, that's a fantastic film. I was going to talk about that in Christmas movies and such, but I don't know. Hey, King Matthew III, what's up? How you doing? Who are you? Are you a bot for one of the other people, or are you new? I haven't watched any of these, just listening to see if they're worth my time since once. Oh, well, thank you for the comment.
Wicked is, especially if you like musicals. The other 2 are so far not as much. Your mileage may vary on the other 2.
I would go there. Oh, thank you for dropping by, King Matthew. I sent a message to Eric also. We're done talking about the new stuff. If you want to come in and talk about the old stuff for the Christmas movies, and there he goes. Yeah, there we go. But there's a theater down the road. It's an art house theater down the road it shows public domain movies, and His Girl Friday was one of them. I didn't make it out there, but it is streaming on Prime. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this. I haven't seen His Girl Friday in forever. And so I put it on, and just what a fantastic film. Cary Grant, Rosalind Russell. Amazing. Yeah. The banter. When it started, I haven't seen this movie in decades. And when it started up, the dialogue between the 2 of them, just in the first 20-30 minutes is just fan-freaking-tastic. The whole setup. And then, of course, it just continues as as the story goes. They're going to execute a convicted criminal, and Cary Grant wants Rosalind Russell to cover the story. And as she's going, I mean, everybody, the way she by the way, Eric, did you notice that the entire freaking cast of Miracle on 34th Street is in this movie?
No, I didn't. But did you notice when Cary Grant sent somebody to look for her fiance? I forgot his name because it's been a week now. And someone said, "Yeah, well, what does he look like?" He goes, "Oh, you know that Hollywood actor Ralph Bellamy." Did you catch that?
Yep. Oh, but yeah, by the way, for those who don't know, if you ever seen a movie called Trading Places, he's the white-haired old guy in Trading Places. Because I was looking, I was going, wait, is that Ralph Bellamy? Is that the? Yes, it is.
I watched Trading Places the same day I watched His Girl Friday for a Ralph Bellamy double feature.
Okay. Oh, the new guy here is saying, pardon me for talking modern movies one more time here. I recently watched Final Destination Bloodlines yesterday for the first time. In my opinion, probably the best movie of the year so far. So that's your favorite film of the year so far. I watched
Question for Matthew before we continue on, though. Have you seen either Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which, by the way, is amazing and you should check out if you haven't seen it yet, or Sinners? Because I'm betting that if you think Final Destination Bloodlines is the best of the year, you haven't seen either Sinners or Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which, to be fair, are two of the only movies that I would actually consider genuinely great in this year. There aren't really that many. There aren't really that many good movies this year, unfortunately, so far.
My take on the Final Destination: you have to have survivors, otherwise it's a snuff film, and a lot of them. After the first one, a lot of them kill off the survivors in a credit shot or whatever. That's what I like. Once again, kind of like Running Man. The journey to the ending was much better than the ending. You know, when you see the characters that survived getting killed at the end, I was like, okay, it was a pointless film. I liked it up until that moment, and then that was my take on it. Not to say if it's your favorite film, hey, you had a better time than I did. I don't know what my favorite film is this year. I really got to think about that.
I don't mind when the Final Destination movies end up killing everyone at the end, because when you get right down to it, the villain, such as it is in the Final Destination series, is death itself. And nobody beats the Reaper. You can only delay the inevitable for so long. So I don't necessarily mind when everyone dies at the end, because, well, yeah, death might be delayed or bargained with or bought off for a bit, but nobody beats the Reaper indefinitely.
Shouldn't it be Final
Speaking
Destination?
Then? Oh, go ahead. There you go. Yeah, Final Decimation. I will say this: I never thought I would go into a Final Destination movie and get teared up. But the last scene that Tony Todd ever filmed is in that movie, and it's a goodbye to his audience. I mean, he's saying goodbye at the end where he says, I'm going to go off and I'm going to live with my family. I'm going to do this. It felt he wasn't just talking to the characters that went in front of him. He was actually talking to his audience. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we all know he died of cancer soon after. It's just when I watched that, I was like, you're crying. Shut up. You know,
it's his version of Mako's Leaves from the Vine from Avatar. Most people in my generation will probably be tearing up just because I mentioned Leaves from the Vine and Mako, but yeah, that's kind of the same vibe I imagine for you guys with regards to Tony Todd.
Yeah, if you are a horror fan, you're a Tony Todd fan. That's just the way it is. But yeah. But getting back to did I even get the poster? There's yeah, here we go. I can pop that up. Block Eric, I guess. This is what we were talking about. His Girl Friday. It's on Prime right now, by the way. If you've never given yourself up to some black and white and older films, this is one of the better ones, in my opinion. But then again, I'm a Cary Grant fan. I'm one of the people who, if you ask me about Alfred Hitchcock films, do you like Cary Grant over Jim Stewart? Yeah, but it's not even that. It's also Arsenic and Old Lace, The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer. I love Cary Grant movies, and this is one of the best. It's been redone as Front Page with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, switching channels with Kathleen Turner and Burt Reynolds, and Christopher Reeve is playing the Ralph Bellamy role. So it's been redone over and over.
Well, actually,
but I truly recommend this film. Say again?
the Walter Matthau movie is basically a remake of the original. That when they did His Girl Friday, they decided that it would have a better shot of being successful if you paired Cary Grant with a leading lady and not another guy.
Okay.
Because the original was Adolphe Menjou and somebody else, and they were just rival newspaper men. And that's what the third one went back to that, the original.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, One Slick, excellent recommendation, by the way. Philadelphia Story does have Jimmy Stewart. It does have Cary Grant. It does have Katharine Hepburn. And it is amazing. I mean, it's once again, it's a screwball. That one's more of a screwball comedy. The His Girl Friday is all about the dialogue. And I was talking to my kids. I said, this is a movie you truly do want to see in the theaters if you can, because when you're at home, you can get distracted by your phone or the kids, the pets, whatever things going on around you. When you're in a movie theater, you're kind of almost forced to pay attention. And you kind of need to in His Girl Friday because the dialogue is just so rapid. It's just so, and it's so witty. And in maybe a 5-minute scene, they just give so much information and character. So, yeah, it's fan-freaking-tastic. Eric, what do you say?
It's in my top 20 all time, so I like it.
Yeah. One Slick is recommending to us Talk of the Town. I have not yet seen that.
Yeah, I think I have, but I need to be refreshed on what the plot of that was. And you know what Philadelphia Story, what its greatest accomplishment was?
Having tigers not eat Jimmy Stewart?
No, it inspired it inspired that young lady to take Katharine Hepburn's character's name as her porn name.
Wait, of whom are we talking?
Katharine Hepburn's name in the movie is Tracy Lords.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, she was the underage porn star in the 80s. I did not know that. I thought it was actually her name. Tracy Lords was her name. No. I did not know she took it from Philadelphia Story.
She just took the ass off of it.
Huh, go figure. Wow, that is something. So, okay, you're now, I know your favorite film is North by Northwest, but when it comes to Alfred Hitchcock, do you prefer the Cary Grant films, or do you prefer the Jimmy Stewart, or are you? Yeah, I know that's your favorite movie.
I'm showing. Not everybody here has seen me with the camera on, so pipe down.
Turn the fucking camera on. Come on, Fred Flintstone. let people see it.
No, I like Cary Grant's Hitchcock movies, I think, a little better.
Okay. By the way, Suspicion. Oh, goodness gracious. I used to be able to name from the very beginning. I worked at the Alfred Hitchcock attraction in Universal Studios, and I was able to name.
Cross that one off your bingo cards, folks. I knew it was coming. Yes, as soon as Alfred Hitchcock came up,
I was able to. Because every day I saw this film strip with all the names of his movies. I learned it, so I was able to go Pleasure Garden and Manx Man and so forth. Yeah.
And I can name I think the Jimmy Stewart. Well, yeah, okay, both of them have movies in my top 10. Rear Window is I think number 7 for me.
Rear Window is my favorite Alfred Hitchcock.
So that's 1-1. But God, I'm trying to think what were they? I think he did 4, right? Or did they both do 4?
Okay, Jimmy Stewart did The Man Who Knew Too Much,
Vertigo,
Rear Window, and am I missing one? The Man Who Knew Too Much, Vertigo, and
Cary Grant, To Catch a Thief,
North by Northwest, Suspicion, and there's one. Notorious. Yeah. What is I'm gonna look it up because. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna look it up the fun way. I'm going to Eric Breen this.
I like Jimmy Stewart better as an actor, but I think Cary Grant was in the better movies in terms of Hitchcock.
Well, Jimmy Stewart was in the best.
Joints.
Even though North by Northwest is my favorite, if you poll 100 critics,
Rope,
Vertigo and Rear Window are both going to finish higher.
Okay, yeah, Rope. That's what we were forgetting.
Yeah, I love Rope too.
Me too. That was actually the first Alfred Hitchcock film I watched.
Have you ever
saw
seen
it. My granddad would sit up. He would let me have with him and watch the late movies. And one night they showed Rope, and I loved it. I had no idea I was watching an Alfred Hitchcock film. It was just a movie I saw with my.
You weren't. You were watching.
My favorite
Alfred
Hitchcock movie is To Catch a Thief. Says Wesley. That too.
So Dalton, have you seen that?
I'd like To Catch a Thief. Have you seen Rope, Dalton?
I have not seen Rope yet. No. I have seen The Man Who Knew Too Much. I have seen Rear Window. I have seen Vertigo. I think those are the only ones that you guys have mentioned that I've seen so far. Other than Psycho, of course, because every person who even knows who Alfred Hitchcock is has seen Psycho at least once, I'm sure.
Yeah. Rope is not one of the better known, or I would say most watched, but if you like stage adaptations, Rope is like watching a play essentially.
It really is.
It takes place in one room, and it's
a bottle story.
Yeah, and he directs it. The conceit of this movie is he wanted to make it look like it was all one cut. You know, you have films doing this now, like 1917 and all this. Rope was the first one to do this.
Yeah.
Where, like when his film reels, because they were only 8-minute film reels back in those days. When it was running out of film, he would focus on a door or the back of somebody or a table or something like that, and then it would pull out, and they would go and continue the scene. So it really did look like it was just one
continuous cut.
Yeah. So that was the conceit of the film, but it's actually a well done story. It's got great characters. One Slick is saying to me, Martin Landau was the standout character in North by Northwest.
Did you know that Martin Landau's character is gay?
I did not know that. No.
And was in love with the James Mason character, who, given that that's my favorite movie, I have a mental block. I can never remember James Mason's name in the movie.
Yeah, me neither. Now for To Catch a Thief, being a Cary Grant fan, I watched those a lot when I was a teenager, and I watched it for the first time. I had a crush on the young waitress in that. And it was almost like a moment my kids had. I played Monkeys TV shows for them, and I played the music. They loved it, so we went to see Davy Jones in concert, and they're waiting for Davy Jones to come out, and he does. And my daughter goes, "Is that Davy Jones's dad?" I kind of had that moment too with her and Vera Miles, by the way. Not Vera Miles. What is it? Vera Miles? The what is it? Snow. What is that? White Christmas. The dancer from White Christmas.
Oh,
is that Vera Miles? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Anyway,
right.
Yeah, she was in On the Town. Yeah, she was in On the Town, and it was the same thing. It's like, wow, she's very pretty. Yeah, she's 90.
Yeah.
All righty, so let's see. Jim is saying, I still need to watch The Man Who Knew Too Much. I've seen The Man Who Knew Too Little a few times. The Man Who Knew Too Little is a little bit of a stretch. That's one to really, yeah. That one's okay. That one's okay. It was all right. It was fine. Yeah, I'll do the same thing as Amy. It's fine. Vera Ellen, thank you. Not Vera Miles, Vera Ellen. Yeah, I had she was Miss Turnstiles and On the Town. I thought she was very, very beautiful. And then it's like, nope, she's 90 years old. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, there are some 90-year-olds that still have it. I mean, look at Helen Mirren, and we all know Cate Blanchett is going to still be beautiful when she gets there.
I don't think Helen Mirren's quite there yet.
Yeah, I actually did the math because I went and saw this movie, 80 for Brady. And it's got Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, Sally Field. And,
the chick flick from a couple of years ago. Yeah.
The reason I went and saw it is I've got one of those cards at AMC that gives me 3 movies a week. Okay, I'm going to use them. Except for I haven't used them this week. So anyway, I went and saw this, and I've come to find out that because they're like, we're 80 for Brady is what's a line that Jane Fonda says. And Sally Field goes, I'm not 80. And then Rita Moreno goes, neither am I. And I found out, Sally Field's still in her 70s, but Rita Moreno's 90-something right now. Yeah. And I did the math. I had a crush on her because she was in the Muppet Show. And I did the math. She was 40 freaking years old when she did the Muppet Show. And here's 8-year-old Eglantine. Oh, she's so beautiful. Yeah. Go figure.
Like I say, some people just don't age. They are blessed to not age and to be beautiful until the day they die.
That means when she was playing a teenage dancer in West Side Story, she was almost 30. So there you go. Something to chew on there, kids.
Some people are gifted not to age, and some people are gifted to hit the perfect age and then stop there.
Yeah. But I had that was something that really, it's a cute film, that 80 for Brady thing. I mean, if you're going to want to see it or not. I saw it just because, like I said, I had an empty slot and a couple of hours to kill. Why not sit down? It was entertaining.
I remember
go ahead.
I remember when it came out, but I never watched it because it looked too cheesy even for me, which is saying something.
Well, let me back that up. Yes, it is a very cheesy film. It's a sweet movie, but I would not have recommended anybody go see it in theaters. But if it's on streaming, and your mother's over or something like that, yeah, put it on. It'll be harmless. It's harmless fun. It's harmless fun for the holidays. Which I gotta say, tomorrow I am looking forward to my annual viewing of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I watch Shawshank Redemption every Thanksgiving. Come to think of it, given that we were just talking about Mike Darabont earlier there. Yeah.
So what makes Shawshank Redemption a Thanksgiving movie for you?
It's just a personal memory thing. This one Thanksgiving, we were waiting for the food to cook, and the parade was over because I do usually watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I had my brother go and make me a whiskey because I had a bottle of Honey Jack. And he kept screwing it up, making it to the point where eventually when he returned it to me actually full, he watered it down so much that I drank 2 or 3 hours worth of whiskey in the space of about 20 minutes. And I remember just scrolling through the channels in a vaguely tipsy mood, and I saw, Shawshank Redemption's on. I'll watch that. So pretty much ever since then, Shawshank Redemption is a movie I watch every Thanksgiving after the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is over.
I watch Uncle Buck at Christmas. I don't know why. It's not a Christmas movie. I mean, it takes place in winter, but I watch it like it's a Christmas movie every year. I mean, I know I'm going from Planes, Trains, Automobiles, Uncle Buck. John Candy is movie royalty, in my opinion. If you haven't seen I Like Me, the documentary on Prime, I really do recommend that. It is amazing. That really what you got on screen. He's almost a personality actor, where what you got on screen really was who he was off of it. So it's very entertaining. My Thanksgiving movies are always Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special, which, by the way, we could talk about that because people say bad things about it. And from then we just put on whatever Christmas movie. My guess is Gail is going to have us watch our second viewing of Christmas Vacation this year.
I'm guessing they bitch about Charlie Brown being not diverse enough, something like that.
Oh, no. The Charlie Brown thing is there's a scene at the end where they're all having Thanksgiving dinner, and you've got all of the white characters on one side and then Franklin by himself on the other side. So it's this racist thing that the white character, that Charles Schultz did not want to put the white characters with the black characters. And so Charlie Brown is a racist character made by a racist man, which could not be further from the actual truth. But that's what they said about the thing.
Okay.
I swear to God, you will search for anything.
If the Peanuts were actually racist, Franklin wouldn't be a character in it, period. You morons.
There's no logic to these people. Let's see. One Slick saying, my Thanksgiving movies are 1935's Alastair Sims' Scrooge. Watched it already. Great version of Christmas Carol. Ivanhoe and Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court. Is that what's his name? Danny Kaye?
I think so.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Either that or we're all wrong, which might happen. Who knows?
I watched Christmas, the Muppet Christmas Carol when me and Pixel did the Muppet movie reviews, the rankings. But I'm so looking forward to watching it again later. But I've watched the Scrooge with Alastair Sims and Albert Finney already. And I am going to watch the Disney version with Jim Carrey because I think that includes so many scenes you never see usually in adaptations. So I like it for that. But
my go-to version is the George C. Scott one.
George C. Scott?
That's my go-to version of Christmas Carol. How
about you, Eric?
What?
Do you have a go-to version of the Christmas Carol?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask what my Thanksgiving movies were.
Well, how about answer that question, then go into the Thanksgiving movies?
Okay, I don't have a go-to version. The only one I think I've ever seen is the 38 version. Yeah, so or thereabouts.
I'm surprised, given how prolific you are on movies, there, Breen, that you don't have more Christmas carols under your belt.
I guess I don't know. Christmas movies, even though it technically does have a happy ending, I've just kind of built a lineup over the years, and every once in a while I'll try to add one. But like last year, or 2 years ago, I tried to add the Lemon Drop Kid, but it didn't resonate really that much. So I didn't put it in the. I know you like it, Aaron. So last year I tried I'll Be Seeing You with Joseph Cotton and Ginger Rogers. And even though I love both of them, I don't know if I'll watch it again this year because it just
doesn't feel right.
It's got a very bittersweet ending. I mean, it ends with him dropping her back off in jail. Unlike Remember the Night, where Fred McMurray ends up getting Barbara Stanwyck. She goes back in, but you kind of get the feeling that I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but yeah, my Thanksgiving movies are the Lions, the Cowboys, and whatever the 8-20 game is.
Right.
Why am I not surprised?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm looking forward to football anymore because what's happened with my Buccaneers. I'm not. I'm interested in seeing what happens, but
I'm going to make you feel a little better about that. 4 years ago, the first time we got together for the Super Bowl, the Bengals were playing in it against the Rams, and I'm not a homer enough fan to see crooked refs everywhere, but there was some suspect officiating at the end of the game. Things go a little different. The Bengals might have won. They didn't. But the next season, the Bengals got back to the championship game where they absolutely got screwed out of it, and the Rams finished under 500. Here it is 3 years later. The Rams are the best team in football again, and the Bengals are abysmal. So the moral of that is it can always get worse. Trust me.
That's true. At least Buccaneers still are in talks of the playoffs. Nobody's thinking they're going to make it all the way.
They're going to make the playoffs.
They're going to get their ass whipped.
Playoffs. You never know. That's the funny thing about football is you can look. Good teams can go through stretches where they look just completely beat. I mean, like the Chiefs were 5-5 last week. They were dead, and they were down 11 points, and they came back and won. Now, who knows? We might have to put up with them in the Super Bowl again. But yeah, it's just it's a funny sport, and seasons take weird twists.
We've got the backup quarterback now because Baker.
Well, trust me.
I'm sorry.
If you've got to go to the backup quarterback, you're done.
Yeah. So, but Baker Mayfield, he's out for a while. So they got to go to the backup quarterback, and that's what I heard. If something different happened, I'm glad. But they had him throw a Hail Mary when he had been clutching at his shoulder all throughout the day. And then he threw this pass. It got intercepted, and he hits the deck. So I don't know. Let's see. One's like saying Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court had Bing Crosby, Cedric Hardwick, and William Bendix and Rhonda Fleming in 1949. I guess I haven't seen that. I don't know. What am I thinking of then? Inspector General or something? Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
Is Danny Kaye, is that Bing Crosby's sidekick in White Christmas?
White Christmas, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought so. I haven't seen much with Danny Kaye. In fact, White Christmas I added last year, and I will watch that again. I like that.
Oh my God, it's a staple. It's a Christmas staple for me. I watch it every year. I love it. Obviously, it's got Vera Ellen. But no, it's I love it. I love that film. I love the songs in it. It's just a pleasant movie to watch. Do you mind? No,
I have a question.
Groom the beard later. What's up?
I have a question for you, Ed. Dalton, I'll pose it to you as well, but I don't know if, given that you are significantly younger than we two old men here, is there a movie, it doesn't have to be Christmas, that you loved when you were younger, you watched again years later, and you go, this really isn't as good as I remember?
Well, there's a number of kids films that you love as a kid, and then you just kind of grow out of.
I'm talking about things you watched as an adult, but we've been adults for a years.
A younger adult a movie that I liked that I just don't care for now.
It doesn't have to be you don't care for it now, but it's just like you built it into something that. Okay, I'll give you mine. Yeah, I recently went back and watched a bunch of my favorite 80s movies. Okay. And 48 Hours was as good as I remember. Trading Places was excellent. Ghostbusters was about 95% as good as I remembered. Caddyshack, I liked it, but I didn't love it this time around.
Huh. Caddyshack is still good to me, but yeah.
It's still good, but it just, I don't know, there was just something.
It doesn't live up to its own reputation.
Or the reputation
Top Gun.
I had given it. Yeah.
Top Gun. As a teenager, I loved it. But as I grow older, like when it came out in theaters, I was the guy that was set to, I was part of a radio show and they would split movies up. You go see this, you go see that. And I was given Top Gun 3D. And I'm watching it. I'm going, this is not good. It's not as good as I remember. I may be actually turning on this film. And by the ending, I was like, God damn, I'm just glad that's over. So yeah, I would have to say Top Gun. When I was a teenager, I loved that film. But Top Gun Maverick, however, I loved, and I could watch that again. But the original Top Gun, I'm done. It did, like you said, it did not resonate with me anymore. God bless.
I'm sure there have been movies like that. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Like I'm sure there are those cases, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I think I just had a psychic moment because one slick said, which do you like better, Top Gun or Top Gun Maverick? Top Gun Maverick by a mile.
Another question.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Better haberdashery tonight. Bird on head or the stovetop there?
All right. Okay. Who's got the better hat, ladies and gentlemen? Me with a bird on my head or Dalton with his awesome freaking hat? There you go.
which could hide pistachio easily.
I gotta say, when we talk about Christmas movies, I do have to say thank you very much for It Happened on Fifth Avenue. I'm looking for the DVD, but I'm looking for the DVD that also has the movie that you like, the Affair one, Holiday Affair. Because I've
seen it in a 4-pack, but they're not both on it.
Actually, I found one that has them both. It's like $30 though. But really? I was looking at it's $32 for 4 films. One of them is the Connecticut movie. What's that called? Christmas movie. Christmas in Connecticut, where the reporter she makes up somebody. It's almost like Mr. What's his name? It was a good movie. I like that one. It happened on Fifth Avenue is now a staple. I just want to watch that, and I'm willing to give A Holiday Affair a better chance or another chance because I saw it and I don't think I don't know. Maybe it was a bad time. Maybe I don't know, but I know it's one of your favorite Christmas movies, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it another shot. There you go, boy. It's okay. Why don't you stay right there? I know he's getting a little rambunctious. I think he wants to go back in his cage, but he's kind of like a kid where like a toddler. No nap. He gets overtired.
Even though he's tired, he still doesn't want to go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, there's definitely more going on in It Happened on Fifth Avenue. And yeah, I said it certainly was a B movie, but it was A-list good. Even if the actors and actresses weren't necessarily big names, they were pretty much character actors from top to bottom. But Victor Moore and Charles Ruggles were both outstanding. The older folks stole the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, they did. I agree.
It's an old movie when the skipper is the young guy in the movie.
Wait, the blonde was the skipper?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. Oh, One Slick is bringing up White Christmas and Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn has got Christmas in it, but it's all the holidays. And my favorite part is Lincoln's birthday. That's the one I had the biggest reaction to for sure. But yeah, White Christmas is great. Holiday Inn is a good movie, but with modern day sensibilities, Abraham Lincoln's birthday kind of makes you go, ooh, okay, they're doing that here, aren't they? Bing Crosby comes out in blackface and he starts singing about Abraham Lincoln. And then when you think it couldn't get worse, here comes the lead actress in blackface and the pickaninny hairstyle going all over the world. It's like, I got to go to church.
I need a shower and I need a detox.
This is the time of year I like to binge watch Abbott and Costello movies, as I have all of them. Oh man, I am actually jealous of that collection. I like Abbott and Costello. I remember watching him once again, my granddad introduced me to a lot of old films, and those were some of them. You know, my granddad introduced me to old movies and women in prison movies. Because he would take me to the drive-in, and my granny would get me, what did you take that boy to see? Sometimes they weren't the best of films to take a young child to see. But my mom did that too once. She took the family out to see Saturday Night Fever. And Saturday Night Fever had Vinnie Barbarino in it and the guy from Grease. So let's go take the family. Let's see it. And as you guys know, and as my wife likes to quote because it's her favorite line, about 5 minutes into the movie, hey, I broke my pussy finger. And my mom's like, okay, stop. And she told me and my brother that we had to lay down and turn around so we weren't watching the movie. At the time, we had in 1970s, I forget what the model of the car, but it was a boat of a car. So I was small enough I could lay in the window behind the seat. And I was like, but Mom, and I turned her over. She goes, look out the back window. And in the back window was, I could see the other screen, and it was a women's in prison movie where, it's violence and nudity and the whole 9 yards. But behind me, I'm getting my pussy figure. Fuck you. So that was one of the most memorable times I've ever spent in a movie at the movies. All righty. Let's see. One Slick saying, besides those, the only other ones I have complete collections of are the Basil Rathbone. I remember seeing some of those Sherlock Holmes, but and the Mr. Moto.
The Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes? Cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool, actually.
Apparently there's a collection of them. When I was younger, I had a huge movie collection, and a lot of them, of course, this is around when DVDs first started, and I had so many VHS cassettes. I had a collection of, oh goodness gracious, Plan 9 from Outer Space guy, director. Edward, thank you. And it was in Angora fur. The box set was wrapped in Angora fur because Glenn and Glenn.
That's cool.
So
I do have a collection of Ed Wood movies, but it's the one in the pink and green box. It's not quite as nice as yours apparently was, but I do have a collection of Ed Wood movies. I also have I actually have several collections of different Vincent Price movies, and I've got a collection of all of the Christopher Lee Hammer horror stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
With the exception of The Devil Rides Out, which I haven't gotten yet, and I really want to get that for Christmas this year. God damn it. Because I read the book for The Devil Rides Out, and I will admit Dennis Wheatley gets the occult more right than most writers ever do. So I became a fan of Dennis Wheatley's Count Richelieu books because of The Devil Rides Out.
I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Different one. When you said you used to have a huge movie collection.
Oh yeah.
How was it in relation to mine?
Oh, yours doesn't even come close.
That's not a fair question, Eric. You can pull anything from Hammerspace. How the hell are we supposed to know what your collection is at any given moment? It's like in the state of perfect quantum flux or something.
So
you have a pocket dimension for your collection.
You have
the reaction you get for your comic book collection, I got from my movie collection.
So you had north of 2,800 movies?
Easily. No, I had, yeah.
That takes up a lot of space.
Yes, it does. Yeah, especially, well, I had them stacked like 3 layers deep at some points. Yeah. So, yeah, so very many movies. And then, of course, thankfully, DVD let us compact those. But I would pick up anything.
My physical media collection is split halfway between movies and TV show box sets. I collect a lot of TV show box sets.
And one Slick is saying, correction, he's got, hey, if you're listening in, join One Slick in the conversation. Tell us what you've got. Tell us what you like to watch during the holidays and such. I forgot the Godzilla movies, which I have both the English and Japanese version. That's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet.
I need to get the Godzilla movies at some point.
You mentioned Vincent Price. Okay, House of Wax, great or really fucking great?
It's closer to the second than the first. Now, mind you, there are Vincent Price movies I like better than it, just because I genuinely don't know if Vincent Price actually made a bad movie that he was in like the starring role of. I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, and Boris Karloff's The Raven, just because that is the movie that inspired Steve Ditko to base Doctor Strange on Vincent Price, and so that will always be gold standard for me, just because it's one of those pieces of media that people who don't know me or don't know anything about Doctor Strange wouldn't think twice about that movie. But people in the know about Doctor Strange and in the know about the creation thereof see that movie and they go, so you know about the Thing. And yes, I'm like, I know about the Thing.
I'm not even saying that House of Wax is his best movie, because I'm not sure it is. But I think, it's the most, to me, it's the most atmospheric. It's probably early color and just all the cobblestone sets and whatnot. I loved it. I just
it is good. I am by no means saying that it's not a good movie. I'm just saying Vincent Price made a lot of really, really, really good movies. It's hard to choose.
Hell, he made we reviewed one last week, Laura. I watched a movie a couple weeks ago called While the City Sleeps, where he plays the son of a rich newspaper man, and he pits 3 guys against each other by dangling an important job in front of them. And it's nothing like the Vincent Price of horror lore.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of almost like you're watching it and he's got this hot girlfriend and you go, he's playing this guy. No, it's like you're playing this guy gay, but you've got this hot wife. So it's like, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, on some level, Vincent Price was always playing Vincent Price to some degree, because he was like, he always brought that level of classiness to a role whenever he embodied a role. It's a little bit like speaking of The Devil Rides Out, when Christopher Lee is playing the hero in The Devil Rides Out, and you're used to seeing him as the monster, and you're like, you should not be in the hero part, Christopher. What the hell are you doing? But to his credit, he's really good as the Count de Richelieu in The Devil Rides Out. So even though when you first see it, it's like, you should not be in this hero role, sir. It's still like, okay, I guess he does have range after all. Damn.
Well, it's nice to see. A lot of people don't know that Vincent Price, in his early career, he was in a lot of important movies. Flag of Bertram. He made a bunch of, like Betty Davis was one of his oldest and dearest friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was in several of her movies. And I can't remember what it was where he what precipitated his transition into horror. But it was a good thing he did, because, like I said, that's other genres lost was horror's game.
Yeah, and the thing I love about Vincent Price is if you actually look at interviews and stuff with him, he loved playing that kind of in that B-movie horror space. A lot of people would often ask him, why is this very sophisticated actor slumming it in B horror movies? And he would always whenever anyone would ask him something like that, would just get this look on his face like, oh, you just don't get it. You don't get that a movie can be fun on its own terms without being intellectual, quote unquote. Which isn't to say that there's no intellectualism to Vincent Price's horror, because of course there is. But I like that for all of his old world eccentricities and sophistication, he made a career out of movies that most capital A actors of the era would have considered slumming it, and never seemed to regret it a day in his life. It's one of those things I respect. I will always love Vincent Price the actor, of course, because he's really, really good at what he does. But he's one of those few celebrities that I have more respect for Vincent Price the man than I do as Vincent Price the actor, because he was just a very thoughtful, very well-read, very articulate person who nevertheless was willing to make a career out of what are essentially B movies, while other actors would poo-poo them.
I always thought that Vincent Price and Edward G. Robinson would have been really interesting dinner companions, because both of them were so much more than, if you just watched their work. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I know Edward G. Robinson was an accomplished painter. And I know Vincent Price was a chef, and I think he painted as well.
He did a little bit, although his main skill in that area was art collecting, to the point that he was tapped to be the art curator for the Sears Roebuck catalog back in the day. I'm sure you remember that, but for those that don't know, for a while there was a period where the Sears Roebuck catalog wanted to get into fine arts, and they asked Vincent Price to curate their fine art collection. For 20 years, I think he did that.
Edward G. Robinson had a huge art collection as well, and a lot of movies that he made, the art you see is his.
Huh.
That's neat. I did not know that. That is interesting.
Let's see. We've got one slick. Vincent Price was an art expert in appraising. Okay. You guys are past me. I'm not up on my Vincent Price movies. You found my weak spot.
a lot of his records and LPs and essentially audiobooks actually made it onto YouTube. About a year ago, actually, I started looking for anything of Vincent Price that wasn't his movie work, just because, like I say, I grew to respect Vincent Price the man even more than I do Vincent Price the actor, and a lot of his records and audiobooks made it onto YouTube, including the old British Vincent Price Presents The Price of Fear show. All of the recordings of The Price of Fear are available for free on YouTube. I actually was just this past Halloween, I spent like 3 days going through all of them, because that is a really interesting project for Vincent Price, because they actually kind of wrote him into the stories as he told them for like the first 2/3 of The Price of Fear. I don't know why they changed the format in the last third. I really wish they hadn't, but him actually being written into the stories adds another interesting element, because it also lets you get to know Vincent Price the person, because obviously he had a say in how he was portrayed and what aspects of himself he often would like make fun of himself in those tie-ins, and it was always really interesting to see how he would set those up.
Alrighty. I have nothing to add to this. So if you guys, Eric, are you there?
No, it's I know a little bit about that. Dalton knows a lot about that. I thought that made for an interesting segue.
We could shift and move on to another topic or something, or other movies. I can't add to the Vincent. I've seen Vincent Price movies. I watched House of Wax. I watched The Raven. I watched Mask of the Red Death. I believe he was in that. And of course, The Last Man on Earth and such. But I just haven't kept up. So I watched those when I was young, like when I was in my teens and such, which was a few years ago. But it's just one of those that I could tell you, I watched them. And what I remember, I liked Last Man on Earth, and I liked The House of Wax, and House on Haunted Hill was entertaining, but it was silly. The skeleton comes out. It was ridiculous, but it was at least entertaining and such. But I mean, those are movies of their time as well. Movies like House on Haunted Hill. Actually, I like the remake better.
I really want to get a couple of his biographies, because he did what he called the visual autobiography when he was the art curator for Sears Roebuck, and his daughter did a posthumous semi-autobiographical book for him after he died. I really want to get my hands on a couple of those, because again, as interesting as Vincent Price the actor is, he's one of those celebrities that actually is even more interesting and even more worth venerating as an intellectual and as a human being than he is as an actor, which is not something you can say for most of Hollywood. Not that you necessarily need to say it, because like I always say, I'm not interested in artists for their morality. I'm interested in artists for their art. But it is nice every now and again when you can find someone who isn't just mugging for the camera, or isn't just putting on a performance for like public persona. And Vincent Price was one of those people that had so much depth and so many layers of intrigue to him and so much thoughtfulness to him that it's just he's one of those people that I genuinely, the more I learn about him, the more I admire him, honestly.
The Ethereal Dragon is saying that he got snow. Or are you asking for it? Because I can't give it to you. I can't send it to you. I'm not in Florida anymore. It's not easy to get. I am
curious what's going to happen when you have to be exposed to snow for the first time.
I got my first ice storm. Oh no! Last year was the first snow. Today was the first ice storm, because it was raining and snowing at the same time. And when I came out of a store, there was ice on my windshield wipers. Yeah, that was interesting. One Slick saying his first movie was Service Deluxe in 1938 when he was 27 years old. I'm trying to steer it into something I could join the conversation in. You okay, Gail?
Yeah, speaking of movies,
she's going down for the car.
Tune into the Extreme Movie Show this Sunday at 7. Me and the Prince of Pine Hills are reviewing The Long Hot Summer.
Oh, nice.
I saw that Rob and Pixel are reviewing the Mads Mikkelsen Hannibal. I'm kind of mad that they didn't ask me, because Hannibal Lecter is one of my all-time favorite franchises. I think Silence of the Lambs was actually my first horror movie growing up. When I was like 13, that was my first horror movie.
Did you express an interest to Pixel that you would like to join them?
After I saw him and Rob reviewing, I think it was episode 7 of season 1, I did shoot Pixel a message, but he never got back to me.
Well, he's Unlike Venkman, Pixel's actually busy.
This is also true. This is also true.
Not a knock on Venkman, but Pixel works full time and then some. So yeah, he's not the best at getting back to people. But all right, here we go. Now I'm sure you can get into this. I'm a big Humphrey Bogart fan. There you go.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, of course, obviously, you bring up Humphrey Bogart. What is the movie? Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Is possibly, that is one that I watched most recently, and it was one of those films where it's like I saw it, didn't I? I saw this movie, didn't I? And I couldn't freaking remember for life. I mean, everybody knows we don't need no stinking batches, but I ended up watching it. It was really kind of cool to see Humphrey Bogart, who is the coolest man on earth in Casablanca, being such a weasel in Treasure of Sierra Madre. So I did enjoy that. But the first movie I actually saw with Humphrey Bogart in it was, Katharine Hepburn in him. African Queen, the African Queen. And I know I could talk to you for days on Casablanca, but African Queen was actually the first movie I saw with him. And I thought that movie it's buried by Casablanca. I know it's a classic in its own right, but I think it's buried by Casablanca on how great it is, because everybody goes to that, and rightfully so. Casablanca's it probably would make my top 10. But if you're talking about Humphrey Bogart movies, I would definitely recommend, if you have not seen it, check out The African Queen. What is this? Human nature is what we were put on this earth to rise above. Is a great line with Katharine Hepburn says, and it's I just enjoyed it a lot. One of the reasons I saw it, and one of the reasons I got into it, was because Busch Gardens in Tampa had a boat ride based on the African Queen. And
that is such a weird poll, but good for them.
It went through the native village, and it went through the falls, the whole 9 yards. They didn't call it African Queen because I don't think they had the rights to it, but the ride itself was like a ride through the movie. So I always loved it for that reason. And it was also my favorite ride because I loved the movie so much I would go through it. Two I watch every chance I get is African Queen and Sahara. I don't know if I've ever seen Sahara, though.
I was just thinking that myself.
You don't think you've seen Sahara? Yeah, I'm more than willing to try. But with Casablanca, that was one of those films when when I turned 18, I got a job at a movie theater. I was not projectionist at the time, but I made friends with one of the managers who was a huge movie buff, and he would keep telling me, you should try this, you should try that. And this is also when I got my own Blockbuster card. So it was like, okay, we're going to watch all these classic movies that you never saw before. And he pointed that one out, Casablanca. And I did not see that one. I mean, if you've noticed, the movies that my grandfather introduced to me were mostly B movies.
Which probably goes on to explain why you're such a B movie fanatic even now.
Could be. I actually do. There's something in me. I don't understand it, but I enjoy bad movies on a certain level. As a matter of fact, in November, I was watching Christmas movies that other people consider bad movies. My wife definitely doesn't like a movie we just saw last night, the night before, called Deck the Halls.
Oh God, the Danny DeVito thing.
With Danny DeVito, yeah. There's a movie called Christmas with the Cranks. I have not met one person that can tolerate that movie, but I will watch it every year, and I enjoy it. I'm not. I mean, it's not like I'm like. Yeah. Go figure.
I can withstand Christmas with the Cranks right up until it's the ham scene where she's fighting for the hickory honey ham. And that's where I'm like, nope, this is too much. I'm out. Too cringe. Can't do it.
I actually I like the way it ends. You know, it's I like the fact that everybody comes. Those are the Christmas movie moments when everybody comes together and yeah. If you like Ingrid Bergman, watch Gaslight. I saw that a long time ago. But of course, being an Alfred Hitchcock fan, Notorious is my Ingrid Bergman go-to.
18-year-old Angela Lansbury in Gaslight. She's the maid.
In Gaslight?
That's.
Yeah.
If you're looking for Christmas movies a lot of people think are bad,
I guess I did.
Yeah, if you're looking for Christmas movies that a lot of people think are bad, I would advise you to check out the 1998 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. It's a movie I love, but literally no one else I've ever spoken to has ever seen the damn thing. But it's got John Goodman in it as the voice of Santa Claus. It's got Whoopi Goldberg in it as Stormella the Snow Queen. It's got Eric Idle in it as a fox named Slyly. But yeah, a lot of people for some reason don't like that movie, and I can't for the life of me understand why. So maybe if you watch it, you can tell me if it is actually bad, or if and I'm blinded by nostalgia, or if it's just a matter of everyone always defaults to the Rankin Bass one. That's my standing theory. My standing theory is just because everybody defaults to the Rankin Bass one, which, and again, maybe I'm biased because I saw the 1998 one first, but I don't actually like the Rankin Bass one very much.
You are a whore and need to leave now.
I am aware of the blasphemy I have just committed, but it does not change how I feel about the matter.
Yeah, I was about to say my go-to is the Rankin and Bass as far as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
You and every other motherfucker except for me on the planet,
exactly.
Apparently.
Yeah. But there is a possibility of being just a bad movie. I can recommend or recognize a bad movie. Gail, God bless her soul, one year for Christmas got me. And I understand why, because it's her favorite Christmas special of all time. She got me the live action version of A Year Without Santa Claus, starring John Goodman as Santa Claus. We watched it together. It was horrible.
Yeah, it's bad, but it's an entertaining kind of bad. I've seen it.
Well, if you like it, there you go. It doesn't work for me. It's just bad. I will. I can watch The Year Without a Santa Claus. As a matter of fact, we did.
Yeah, there's a situation where I do prefer the Rankin Bass one. I admit that the John Goodman one is bad, especially because they tried so very hard to be dark and edgy with it. But it's bad in a kind of I can't look away from it sort of way, I think.
Let's see. One slick saying, I think Dalton, after that came out, they tried to lose that movie because they never reproduced it. The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, the 1998 Rudolph movie. You can, or at least you could the last time I looked, which would have been last year around Christmas time, but it is still available as far as I know on YouTube if anyone other than me wants to remember that movie exists.
Oh, YouTube has you can find a litany of Christmas movies. That's actually where I first saw the Lemon Drop Kid, which I wouldn't have tried had Eric not talked me into Holiday Affair, and it happened on Fifth Avenue. I was just looking for these old movies, and I remember that I love the song Silver Bells, and I remembered Silver Bells came from a movie called Lemon Drop Kids, so I checked that out, loved it.
Is that the first place it was ever included or premiered? Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at that now. Damn.
It's Bob Hope. He plays a con man, and they're looking for ways to make money, and he discovers, street side Santas rake in all sorts of cash, so they decide to make their own.
So he pulls the con maneuver on it, yeah.
Right, yeah. He starts a charity in order to make money for himself, and Con Man with a Heart of Gold. I mean, you know where the ending.
Yeah, it's a Bob Hope character. I'm pretty sure I know where this is going.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to watch that now because Silver Bells is up there as one of my all-time favorite Christmas carols. I love that song. It's one of my favorites.
Me too. Me too. Unlike the Christmas Shoes, which has a Rob Lowe movie attached.
Oh God, the insufferable, like insufferable, emotionally manipulative cringe. I hate that song so much. It's right up there. It's right up there with Elf. I cannot stand Elf. Fucking Will Ferrell needs to be put on several dozen Xanax before he ever tries to play anything ever again. Every time I watch Elf, all I can think of is how insufferable Will Ferrell's hyperactive bullshit is.
So you're participating in 24 hours of Elf on TBS coming up?
Oh, I hate. I will probably be one of those people who watches A Christmas Story for the 500th time instead of subjecting myself to Elf even once, because fuck Elf so much.
I watch Christmas Story every year and have, you know what I think is funny? A lot of, when you ask people, what's your favorite movie? They always, of course, they pick some Lord of the Rings or Biodome or something really good like that. But nobody ever mentions the fact that maybe it's a Christmas movie, because Christmas movies are movies that you have watched every
hundreds
year,
of times.
starting from the first time you watched it and loved it. A movie like Christmas Story, me and Gail, being Gen X, or anybody who have seen it, saw it in, what was it, 1983, I think it was. So we're talking about 42 years. If you have only watched it once a year, you have watched this movie 42 freaking times. Yeah, and
let alone if you watch it multiple times a year, like I do, because I'm one of those people that can actually sit there and watch it rerun multiple times over the course of the 24-hour marathons or whatever the hell. Now, mind you, there are other Christmas movies I like to break it up with occasionally, like Jim Carrey's Grinch. I like both the original Chuck Jones Grinch and the Jim Carrey Grinch. We don't need to talk about the Benedict Cumberbatch version that, for all intents and purposes, should cease existing.
That is such a... Hold on, I got to talk about it. You brought it up. The Benedict Cumberbatch, it's just called the Grinch. It's the one with the animated Grinch there. It's not the or the Jim Carrey. Okay, so the premise of the modern day, written for modern audience Grinch, is that the Grinch is a misunderstood villain, and it's really the Who's that are the bad people.
Which was already done 1,000 times better and much more nuanced in the Jim Carrey version. If that is a thing you want to see done, there is absolutely no reason why you couldn't just watch the Jim Carrey version in it.
No. But here's the thing: in the Jim Carrey version, he was still an asshole. It wasn't like he was this nice guy that got put upon for how he looked. He was an asshole who got put upon for how he looked. At the very least, it was an even split. The Benedict Cumberbatch was straight up
doing a racial allegory with the Grinch. Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much. But the Jim Carrey version and the original Chuck Jones version, I will watch both of them dozens of times over the course of Christmas season. That was one of the first Christmas movies I ever watched, because I was, I think, 5 when that movie came out.
Fantastic, because you aren't distracted.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a delay.
I am way behind you guys. Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to read that. Let's see. Old Black and White Movie says One Slick are fantastic because you aren't distracted from the story, but the colors. I can agree with that. I mean, I'm okay watching black and whites and such. I'm kind of getting back into that. One thing, we just watched a movie called Gus. It isn't great, but it is one of the fakest looking movies I've ever seen. It's an old Disney movie, And I was telling Gail, I want to see movies with the artifice. I want to see the rear screen background. I want to see the sets. I want to know that most of the dialogue is AR. I want all of the fake stuff that you would get in old Disney movies and in old movies. I don't mind the CGI, but I don't know. It's just I miss the making of the movie. If that makes any sense to you guys.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. The like practical. Speaking of Jim Carrey Grinch, I was thinking about this actually this morning. I was thinking about it. There was so much effort and detail work put into sets back in the day that you just don't get now because it's all a green screen soundstage, which would be fine if it were intermixed with practical, but like 9 times out of 10, it's just soundstage on top of soundstage on top of soundstage, and it's comparatively lifeless.
Yeah. Once, like say, I still watch silent movies as well. Alfred Hitchcock has a whole bunch of silent movies on Tubi, which is a free movie site. A lot of them downhill, I believe they've got, which is a hard to find film. I don't even know if it had it. It might have a DVD release, but I never had it. Downhill was good. The Ring is pretty good as well. I recommend that one. But yeah, I if you like silent movies, there's quite a few. And I noticed Buster Keaton is on Prime. The General,
Tubi.
As a matter of fact, is I watched that. I watched that before. Yeah.
Tubi has a lot of really good stuff for being a free service, because there's so many good movies that people just aren't interested in the rights for. Like a movie I discovered because it was on Tubi recently was Simon King of the Witches that came out in like 1971. I freaking love that movie. It's like a dark, like supernatural comedy. And I never would have found that movie if it weren't for Tubi.
Okay, I'm going to answer Eric's question again because he just reminded me of it. On Tubi, there is a film that stars Gabe Kaplan and Robert Klein and a few other people. Webster's in it. It's called Nobody's Perfect, and it's about these people who have mental problems. Robert Klein is a split personality. It's him, and then it's a woman named Kitty and a mobster. And Gabe Kaplan forgets things. So, and the big guy, I forget his name. He has his mother is always with him, even though she's not with him. And they get screwed over by City Hall, and it's how they fight City Hall and everything. When I was a kid, I thought it was the funniest freaking thing. I watched that movie religiously. Me and Gail watched it last year. This movie sucked. This movie sucked bad. It was not good at all. One slick saying, I like the Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd silent movies. Yeah, they're good. Like I said, I do know a lot of them are on Prime right now. Yeah.
You know what else is on Prime that you need to get cut off on?
Well, go on ahead.
Has Been Hotel.
Has Been Hotel.
I can't believe it's taking you, the man who was literally raised on Disney musicals, so long to get into Has Been Hotel. I maintain that when you do eventually get into it, you will become addicted to it. But you need to get caught up so we can review it now that season 2 is finally wrapped.
I was on my way to watch Has Been a Hotel. By the way, my wife and kids, they've been watching it. I was on my way to watch it. I was on Paramount. I'm like, okay, let's go see Has Been a Hotel. I told Dalton I'd watch an episode. Maybe we could talk about it. And as I was scrolling on Paramount, I found a show called Schmigadoon. It was like, what are they doing? Like, is this a play of Brigadoon or something like that? What the heck is this? I read the thing. Man and a woman with married troubles find themselves in a movie musical. Okay, let me put this on. Let me see what this is about. That was freaking charming as hell, man. I love that show.
I'm telling you, when you do finally get into Has Been Hotel, it will never leave your brain. Especially a particular song from episode 5 of season 1 of Has Been Hotel, which is a song between Lucifer and Charlie, who is his daughter. And I know you, having two, adult girls who are millennials, that song will make you bawl your eyes out. I will stake what remains of my reputation on that. You will, when you get to the song More Than Anything, just let me know how many buckets of tears you end up crying because of that thing. But on that note of blackmailing Englentine to watch Has Been Hotel for the 100th time, I'm going to excuse myself because I just someone tried to call me and I had to decline because I was on the stream. So I'm going to go see what they are wanting me to do.
We're going to close up shop here anyway.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. I will see. I will see you whenever he needs a co-host again. Probably. Bye.
See you all.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That was. Say again.
No, I was going to say Happy Thanksgiving, but he left.
Yeah. Gail's on her way to sleep, and I think this is a good time. We've been at this for 2:10. That's pretty cool. By the way, Schmigadoon is a fun and funny film. I don't know how much are you into musicals, Eric?
I like needling you about them.
Okay, there you go.
I don't mind them. I said, meet me in St. Louis. Meet me in St. Louis. How do you pronounce it? I watch every year.
One of the biggest gifts you gave was telling me I should check out Meet Me in St. Louis. Never even crossed my mind. Even when I was younger, I don't think I ever saw it. I probably did. I just don't have a memory of it. And now I own it on DVD, and I can't wait to put it in and check this movie out. I do save the best Christmas, like I watched Krampus, Better Watch Out. I watched a bunch of, like I said, the bad movies or the horror movie Christmas movies. But after Thanksgiving, it's time to bring out the big guns. It's trying to bring out the movies with the feels and all that kind of stuff. November is good for the Hallmark Christmas movies, 12 Dates of Christmas and such like that. Schmigadoon is they go into this town and it's a musical. Like they say hi and then like everybody's looking at them weird, and then they just start into a musical number welcoming them to Schmigadoon. And each song is kind of a hybrid or a version of a song from a different musical. It's not a direct, like they don't put on the tune of a song from a musical you already know, but they kind of write a tune that's close to it. It's a lot of fun. One of the things I like about it is somebody went, "Wow, that was a great song you just sung," and they go, "What do you mean?" They have no idea they're actually singing when they're doing the musical numbers, and I thought that was kind of clever. So I do recommend that. That being said, it's 2:12. According to the numbers, we've got 2 people listening, and it might just be you and me. So let's call it a night. And
let's at least take time to thank one slick dude for carrying the conversation.
I know, right? Thank you, man. Thank you for that. And we'll see you. I don't know if we're doing anything tomorrow. But on Friday, tomorrow is Geeky Puppet Show. RDV is going to be doing his show, so go on over, check him out. And on Friday, we're going to be doing the cover rankings. I might do a Black Friday discount box of books that have been in the auction and haven't sold recently. And then on Saturday, of course, the auction. But on Friday night, we are ranking my favorite Silver Age, or some of my favorite Silver Age covers, I should say. Con lives. Have a good night. One Slick, thank you very much. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching.
Good night, kids.
Have a good time.